Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods this Monday afternoon. And you know what? They're trying to steal my thunder. They're just saying, oh, well, it was just the Detroit Lions and there's no D. There's trolls and things that are alleged Dallas Cowboy fans that still don't want to believe their eyes and still think that Dak Prescott is no good. You know what? You can believe what you want to believe, but each week he is making you look like a freaking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Because every time there's an obstacle, it seems like he surpasses it. It used to be Dak can't throw for 200 yards. Well, he's doing that. Dak can't throw for 300 yards. Okay, well, he's doing that on a regular. He hasn't had that many 300-yard games. Well, now he's got 400-yard games. Dak can't throw for multiple TDs. Well, he's doing that. Dak can't carry the team. It's all Zeke Elliott. Well, he's doing that right now. I'm hoping that you guys are going to say Dak can't win a Super Bowl because the way Dak Prescott's been doing, he'll prove you guys wrong on that one as well. So that's where we are with these things. And it's interesting to me when I think about this, and this is a real legitimate question. The question you have to ask is, has having Scott Linehan and Jason Garrett actually stunted where Dak Prescott is right now? When you think about how conservative the play calling was with Scott Linehan, without them really trying to, do a whole lot. I mean, you had Des Bryant, who only had, 5, 6 different. We didn't have multiple sets, where we didn't do motion, where we didn't do things that help the quarterback. That you see when we do more than just 3 yards and a Elliott. When you open up the playbook, when you try and get mismatches, that the much more productive. And for whatever reason, I'm not going to say Zeke Elliott has lost a step. I'm not going to say that. I will say that I don't see the offensive line like Tyron Smith literally just throwing people across the field like we used to see. And it may be that this team, because these guys have gotten older, when you get older, I understand this completely, things change. Things that you used to do really well when you were younger, you're not always as good as you get older. You evolve and you learn things better. And a lot of times as you get older, where you used to rely on your brute strength and your speed, where your technique and skill actually comes into play. And what it may be, as a casual fan here, this is just my assumption. But here's the thing. When you think about run blocking, that is just driving force and getting downfield for blocks and stuff like that. That's something that you got to have a good set of wheels. But when you start talking about pass blocking, that's more of defensive mode. It's not as aggressive. It is me being in the right position and working my body and my hands. And it may be that these great offensive linemen that we have, because they're getting older, because they're nicked up, are now actually better pass blocking than they are at run blocking and driving. I mean, think about it. Tyron Smith has been on a bad ankle. He had the high ankle sprain not that long ago. La'el Collins, of course, had the bad knee. Zach Martin last year had the bad knee. So when you start thinking about drive blocking, that's more brute strength. And maybe that's the reason why we're not getting those same holes. Because as I look at Zeke Elliott's numbers, that his yards per carry was a pinnacle at 2016. And you remember seeing these holes that were there that, hell, Zeke maybe get 20 yards. I could have probably gotten 5 because they were literally that big that he was not getting contact until he's 3 yards down the field. You're not seeing those. So I'm not going to say that Zeke Elliott has lost a step. But what I think the Cowboys have to do is what I used to call our offense being death by 1,000 cuts. And by this was completely on display yesterday. Because instead of us relying on first down, let's run Zeke up the middle, pound him, and knock him silly, and hope that he eats, it was trying to Zeke up the middle. It was direct snap to Tony Pollard. It was, getting Tony Pollard involved. It wasn't just Amari Cooper, because Amari Cooper was nicked up. We had Michael Gallup galloping down the field. And you know what? We had some corn on the cob there with Randall Cobb. So we were using a multitude of weapons, and the Detroit Lions really just did not have a clue what was coming next. And this is where you have to start evolving. I think the days of us just being able to just run man up, one-on-one, run Zeke Elliott constantly up the middle and figure that we're going to get the win is not going to be it anymore. Teams have figured out what you have to do is take care of gap control. And that being the space between the guard and the center, the guard and the tackle. You need to make sure you get penetration, which means getting that step up the field at the start of the play to plug those holes. Make Zeke Elliott have to go east and west instead of north and south, so he can't get that head of steam, so he can't get that lean on you. So what you have to do to counter that, when teams start blitzing you because they say, we're going to go ahead and stop Dak Prescott, we don't believe he's going to be able to get the ball downfield, let's send an extra man, is start using screenplays and quick hitters and things like that to change what you're doing. And the perfect example of this is we kept running Zeke Elliott up the middle, and he had 46 yards with like 2.7 yards a carry. It's not that Zeke doesn't have moves and can't run the football. It's just when you're going against that defensive line that's penetrating, I'm sorry, I don't care if it was Earl Campbell in his heyday. You're not going anywhere. And that's where the screenplay becomes your best friend. And it's a way to slow down the pass rush. So here's where, in my book, that's yesterday. Some people will say that the quarterback actually had a bad pass to Zeke, but if you actually really watch the play, you'll see that Dak Prescott, that was right there, and had he straight ahead, it probably would have been knocked back in his face. So he sidearms it kind of around him, which Zeke has to reach out and grab it. But Zeke Elliott gets it in space where it's now one-on-one against somebody, and I will take Zeke Elliott one-on-one against a defender anytime. So let's take a look at this play real quick here and see if you see what I'm talking about. So here you have right here, we've got 6 Lions right up here crowding the line of scrimmage. And you got this one right here who may or may not be rushing, okay? Dak Prescott's in the shotgun. And at the snap of the ball, you see 5 guys rushing right now, okay? Dak's getting the ball. Basically, it's looking like a pass play, of course. You have Zeke Elliott coming out here to get the outside man, right? Right? That's what the guy's thinking. So let's go a little further. So Zeke Elliott, he's right here with the defender. Defender's thinking, I'm going to get past this guy. I'm going to shed the block. I'm going to get me a sack, right? You got Zeke Elliott here. Break it down. He's breaking down. I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you. But what does he do? Just kind of does the lookout block. Just lets him go past him. The lookout block. Let me move the camera here a little bit. The lookout block, okay? Lets the guy go past him, right? So now you've got 4 men right here coming on the quarterback thinking, we got us a sack, right? Boom. And you see, this is where people will say, well, Dak threw a bad pass, but you see where that ball is? And let me see if I can back this up a little bit. This is a little bit harder here. But I want you to watch this. You see where this defender is? He is almost in between the 2 of them. Dak sidearms it to get it around the guy, okay? See, if this was like that, I can't remember the movie, but they take the pistol and they kind of, and it makes the bullet go around and around and kills everybody in a curve. That's kind of what Dak had to do with this pass. He sidearms it around him to get it to Zeke. Okay? Now, it's wide for Zeke, but Zeke makes a great catch on it, and now you got 3 blockers out here for Zeke Elliott. Okay? Look at this. Boom. Once he gets that ball, these guys got no chance in hell of catching him. And now Zeke can get some speed up, and boom, gets Father time to make a block. And it is touchdown, and now it's the Dak dance.
That is great.
Now, that, my friend, is exactly the kind of thing that you have to do when you start seeing these 7 men in the box, 8 men front. Although most of the time we're not seeing that many 8-man boxes. Now, did you see what I was talking about right there? See, I got people out there saying, well, Dak threw a bad ball, right? But I want you to look right here. Look at the defender right here. If Dak tries to throw it straight to him, this guy gets it. This is actually an incredible play by Dak and by Zeke. Look, you see him leaning as far as he can to try and get this pass out there. And sidearms it. Look at that. Look at how freaking close the guy's hands are to this. This pass has got, listen, that's the only place he can put it without being basically a pick six. He sidearmed around the defender, and that bullet, whoop, 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 right on around. Look at that. Boom. So it's a little wide. Zeke's got to adjust on the ball. He makes great adjustment on it.
As you mentioned,
boom. Okay, now
a catch by Elliott.
I got a big old butt right here blocking, and I'm running right off of that butt.
Gets his balance back.
Boom. Look at that. Walling off. Oh, you just got to love this. Look at it. Boom. And Jason Witten standing in the guy's way. Oh, wait. I don't want to block him in the back. Don't want to get flagged. And boom, into the end zone. And of course,
making a block. Well, Jason Witten does.
He just stands there. Okay, I got him. You're not getting away.
And he doesn't hold.
I'm not going to put you in the back.
See, he gets out of the way. He moves his hands. I didn't do anything.
And this is where our team has to evolve. You got to understand, this is what made Jared Goff get to that Super Bowl. It was Todd Gurley on the outside on screen passes that was able to make moves in space instead of just pounding him up the middle. And if you want to see Zeke Elliott get his money, you can't continue to pound him up the middle constantly and think that we're going to win. This offense has to go ahead and evolve and understand that, hey, listen, we need some trickery in here. We need to open things up, and we need to go ahead and do this. Now, understand this, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, man, I don't like this game plan. We're passing the ball too much. Understand what this really is kind of like an extended handoff to Zeke Elliott, but gives him the opportunity to really make a big play. We've not had a lot of big plays from Zeke Elliott this season, but this is a way that you get more and more of those. And more importantly, the more times you start running the screen, that guy on the outside who's making that rush is now having to think, what's Zeke doing? So instead of me going through and just trying to bypass Zeke, now I got to slow my roll and make sure he's not going out for a screen. And all of these things affect teams in real time. And the thing about it is I honestly believe that this offense has only scratched the surface of the potential that they actually have. You may think I'm crazy, but the more and more that you actually start to allow Dak Prescott to open these things up, the more effective that Zeke Elliott will be. Understand, the first half was Dak Prescott hitting all of these guys, and the second half was Zeke Elliott helping to finish them off. To me, this is what you're going to have to do to be successful this season. Things have to evolve and things have to change. And if these Cowboys have any hopes or aspirations of making the playoffs and beyond, they're going to need to do more of things like this. So I hope you guys tune in tonight for our live streaming things. And haters, look, y'all just keep hating. I ain't got no problem with that. But I got to tell you, you're looking dumber and dumber every week. I'll see you guys tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, right here.